In this clip, I will show how to create objects and how and why you might want to destroy an object. How to create an object. The most common way is using the new keyword. Another way is using the clone keyword when another object already exists. Let's look at both syntaxes. Creating an object with the new keyword is done as shown here, either with trailing parentheses or not. Once the statement executes, the form variable is an instance of the form class. Using the trailing parentheses is the most common syntax. As with any PHP variable, use a lowercase letter or underscore, followed by camel case letters for the variable name. Let's run the form object instantiation in the IDE and use the PHP getType function to verify the object data type. At the top, I load the form class, then instantiate a new form instance using the new keyword and the var_dump function to output the object's contents. I'll add a line break to segregate the output, instantiate another form instance from the same form class and var_dump its contents. Again, another line break, and finally, echo a call to the PHP getType function to verify the object data type. And now I'll run the code and see the results. Here we see the distinct two form objects and the results of the getType function call showing an object data type. The syntax to duplicate an object instance using the clone keyword is shown here. Cloning will create a duplicate object with all original properties and code. Why do this when it seems just as easy to create another object using the new keyword as we did previously? Well, you may have a use case that calls for modification of the form object after initial instantiation and during runtime, and cloning the object makes sense because instantiating from the class definition will not contain the modifications. It is important to note that attempting to instantiate another form instance using simple assignment will only result in a reference to the original form object, which is PHP's default behavior with object assignment. A reference or alias may be what is required by your particular use case, as long as you recognize the difference. Let's test this in our IDE. Here, I load the class and instantiate the form object as before, then clone from that form object to create a duplicate instance in the another form variable. Conditionally, I test using the object comparison operator, == to see if they are duplicates or aliases. Then add a line break. Then I will attempt to duplicate the original form instance with a simple assignment, testing again to see if they are duplicates or aliases. Let's run the code and see the result. Here, we can see in the first test we created a duplicate, and in the second, an alias. There are three ways to destroy an object: using the PHP unset function, assigning a null value to an object variable, and finally, the object is destroyed by successful runtime termination. This is important, as you will see when learning about magic methods, which we'll do in a subsequent module. Let's look at the destruction syntax. Our form is unset using the unsetPHP function or setting the form instance to null. Your case may dictate whether a particular object destruction is necessary, and our form instance is destroyed at successful runtime termination. In our IDE, we'll instantiate the form, unset the form instance, and assign the instance variable to null, thereby destroying it, and verifying its destruction with a var_dump. Let's run this and see the result. Here, we see the null results from both the unset function and setting the instance to null, and an undefined PHP notice resulting from the var_dump call on a destroyed form object. Okay, let's summarize. In this clip, we looked at two different ways to create or instantiate objects, one using the keyword new and another with the clone keyword, and how to destroy an object. Next up, working with object properties.